Not every child grows up loving their reflection. Some children stand before the mirror and ask quietly, "Why do they say my skin is too dark? Why do they say my hair is too coarse? Why do they say I'm not beautiful?" One of those children was Lupita Nyong'o. Long before she stood on the Academy Awards stage in a flowing blue gown, she spent years navigating silence, doubt, and painful comparisons, slowly learning how to love the person staring back at her. This is the story of a woman who found light by walking through darkness. Lupita was born in 1983 in Mexico City. Her Kenyan parents had fled there to escape political persecution. Just a year later, the family returned to Kenya, but the feeling of being from everywhere and nowhere would follow her all her life. Growing up, she heard messages that left marks on her spirit. Lighter skin is more beautiful. Someone who looks like you should stay in the background. In later interviews, she confessed, "I prayed every night that I would wake up with lighter skin." A small, heartbreaking prayer shared by countless young black girls around the world. But Lupita's home held something powerful: stories, poetry, music, and theater. Her parents encouraged creativity, and the stage became the first place where her voice felt strong. As a teenager, she joined a local theater group, and something unexpected happened there. For the first time, people didn't focus on her skin tone. They focused on what she made them feel. After one performance, an elderly woman approached her and said, "You helped me remember something I'd forgotten." It wasn't an award, but it was the first moment Lupita realized that her presence, just as it was, could move people. That brief encounter planted a seed of courage. Eventually, Lupita moved to the United States to study acting and was accepted into the world-renowned Yale School of Drama. The next 3 years were the hardest of her life. Grueling training, demanding professors, and the constant fear that she wasn't enough. She once shared a story about a difficult rehearsal. A professor looked at her and said, "Stop trying to disappear. We can only teach you if you show up." For someone who had spent years trying to make herself smaller, those words became a turning point. Slowly she began to show up. Not only in class but in her own life. Months after graduation, Lupita auditioned for a film that would change her career forever. 12 Years a Slave. She never expected to be chosen. But director Steve McQueen saw something rare, an emotional honesty that couldn't be manufactured. Her performance as Patsy stunned audiences around the world. Raw, unfiltered, deeply human. At the 2014 Academy Awards, Lupita walked onto the stage and accepted the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. She said, "No matter where you're from, your dreams are valid." It was more than an acceptance speech. It was a message to every child who had ever felt invisible, including the girl she once was. Her story didn't end there. Lupita went on to play Nakia in Black Panther, and the dual role of Adelaide in Red in Us, proving she could not be confined to a single type of character. But her most important work happened outside the spotlight. She used her voice to confront colorism, to celebrate African identity, and to lift up young girls who still believed they weren't enough. One of her most moving acts was writing a children's book called Sulwi, about a little girl whose skin is the color of midnight. The story doesn't end with a magical change. It ends with acceptance, the very message Lupita wished someone had given her when she was young. Lupita Nyong'o did not become a star because the world opened its arms to her. She rose because she refused to hide anymore. Her journey reminds us, Sometimes the person we become is shaped not by the praise we receive, but by the shadows we walk through. From the darkness she once feared, she became a light the world could no longer ignore. Brief pause. And now that light whispers to every child still hesitating in front of their mirror. You are enough. You are beautiful. Your dreams are valid.